Hey G fans, real quick before you watch this video, I made a lot of embarrassing mistakes with this review. I kept on calling the figure, instead of saying 1994, I kept on saying 1954. The reason for that was because I actually just also recorded a kaiju discussion video regarding 1954, so I had 1954 on the mind, but this is 1994, so you'll hear this 1994 whenever I make the mistake of calling it Godzilla 1954. So just wanted to make that out. I put out the video a couple hours ago and a lot of you guys were like, why'd you make so many mistakes? And it was too embarrassing. I didn't want to keep the video up. So here's the re-edited one. Hopefully this will be better. So that's it. So enjoy the video. Hey G-Fans, GoGFan93 here, welcome to another figure review. In this video we will be reviewing the NECA 1994 Godzilla. Alright guys, so this is the NECA 1994 Godzilla. Now also, if you guys notice, I did kind of change around my review space to just a white background so you guys can really get focus on the figure itself rather than, getting it all lost in the background of my other collection. So, but yeah, so this is basically the NECA Godzilla 1994, and I'm actually very pleasantly surprised with this figure. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised with NECA, and actually how pretty damn good this figure is. So let's just get to it. So we'll talk about the sculpt and detail with this figure. So yeah, let's just start from, I guess we'll just talk about his head. So anyways, so there's his head. Well, look at here. Pretty good. Pretty good with the sculpt. It's a little bit, it seems a little bit squished. I feel like it should be a little bit more wider, especially if you compare it with the SH Monster Arts 94. But still, it's actually not that bad looking. It definitely captures, I feel, the essence of the 1994 suit. Yeah, and so we'll move down to the neck. The neck's pretty good. It's pretty good sculpt. The chest, really good. Get some muscles in there. His arms are pretty well done. And then we got his hands, which I especially love the hands of this figure. The hands are really, really good. Really detailed with the sculpt on the hands. I think it looks really awesome. Then we go down to the waist. Really good detail with that. And then we go to the thighs, pretty good. Going down to his knees, really awesome stuff. And then the feet, once again, are really, really well done. I'm like I said, I'm really surprised with this figure. As you guys know, I didn't think I would be collecting the NECA figures. But then I gave in and I ended up getting this guy, and I was like, you know what? I want to collect the rest of the line because this guy is really good. And he's a good substitute for the SH Monster Arts because those figures I just can't really afford. But so yeah, then we got the spike or the dorsal plates. The dorsal plates, in my opinion, are the best feature of this figure. I mean, looking at it from a distance, it's just like, oh, you just get that. Oh, just looking at him from the back, it's just like, oh, just looking at the movies. Let me go up close. See if I can get this up really good close here. Let's see. Okay, sorry. So yeah, I wish my camera would focus, but it seems like it's not wanting to work with me today. But you guys can kind of see the detail in the dorsal plates right there. It's really well done. The other thing too is that these are actually rubber. Other than the the plastic of the figure, he's pretty sturdy, but these are actually kind of rubber, which is for child safety. Because these figures are meant for they're more of toys rather than like, I guess X Plus style collectibles. But I kind of like how they're rubberized. It's kind of cool. I don't know, because then it kind of flows. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I like it. You don't really, there's not really a chance to break them off or something. And then we got the tail. Tail's pretty good. I wonder if it should be longer. I'm not really sure. But who knows? Well, I think the SH Monster Arts tail is a little bit longer, but I don't know. Anywho. Alright, so yeah, definitely with the sculpt and detail, I really like it. Actually, it looks really, really good. Alright, so now on to the scale of the figure, the size and scale of this figure. So this is a standard 6-inch figure. The stupid ads continually say 12-inch head to tail figure. So he is 12 inches from head to tail, but I look at this as a 6-inch figure just because of the Bandai figures, and I feel like it fits better in the line. And I'll bring up some figures to compare him with. Alright, so first off, we're going to do his brother right here, the 2014 NECA figure. You guys know my opinions on this guy. He's not really my favorite, but because he's in the line, I wanted to keep him, so I had a complete collection of the NECA figures. So there's the comparison with him. You guys can see right there. It's stacks up pretty nice. These guys can have some good battles if you want them to. I've seen some pretty good stop motion stuff with these two. So, yep, there's him. And then I wanted to bring out the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2014 because he's the only Godzilla SH figure I have. So if I had the 1994 SMART, I would compare him with that. But this is really all I got here. So once again, pretty good in scale. I feel like he scales a little bit better than the NECA 2014. Seems a little bit more height or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so that's that. And then I just wanted to show him off the limited edition San Diego Comic-Con Godzilla Final Wars figure, Bandai Creation. So that's how much he stacks up. See, he's a little bit bigger than the 1994 figure, but whatever. Just pretty cool to compare him to. Alright, so now we'll move on to the paint detail. So the paint, there's really not a lot to talk about with the paint when it comes to Godzilla. I mean, you just have your basic charcoal, gray. I mean, this is the Heisei Godzilla we're talking about, so very, very traditional, very, nothing really crazy here. Just charcoal gray. We got some white bone, well, not bone white, but just, it's actually not really bright white. It's more like, it's a little bit faded a little bit, but I'm just going to say white on that. And we got a little bit of, I don't know, it's kind of like a little bit of like gray, but I see a little bluish tint on his nails, like his toenails and his fingernails. Then in his face, I feel like the eyes are really well done. I don't know if you guys can see well. Let's see if the camera will focus here. But his eyes are actually really well done. Along with his teeth, they're actually painted really well. And then you guys can open his mouth, and we can see inside his mouth. So yeah, he's like, ah. So, yeah. So yeah, the paint detail is really nice on this figure. Alright, so the last thing I want to talk about is the articulation, and NECA is basically the next best thing from SH Monster Arts. These guys have a lot of articulation with them, so I'll just show you guys. So we'll start from his head, so you can move his head like this. You can actually move it a little bit without his neck moving. You can move his jaws, you guys see. I like to keep his mouth closed because there's not a lot of Godzilla figures that I have with their mouths closed, and I feel like he looks cooler with his mouth closed. Then you can move his neck like this, so you can see that. Can move his arms from his shoulders, his elbows, and his wrists. His wrists can move as well. Like, all this stuff can move. So you can do a lot. I've seen so many funny pictures with this figure doing some really funny things. So really, really well articulated with the hands. But one thing I love is that with the hands, you can actually, I love that, how you can move his whole hand like that. I think that's pretty awesome. So you can make him punch somebody, It's pretty awesome. And let's see, then we got his feet. He moves his leg. I think he does move at his knees, but it's not like forward and back. It's more like just moving, twisting it like this. And his feet do move as well, like that. So you can make him, like, you can do really funny things with him like that. Looks like he's about to trip over. He's like, oh God. Anyways, so yeah, there's that. And then his torso moves as well a little bit like this, so that's pretty cool there. And then his tail can move like that, like a dog. He's all happy. He's like, okay. Anyways, and then sadly this is NECA, so they decided to do that stupid wire inside the tail, so it bends. I'm not going to bend it a lot because I don't want it to break, but that is available to you stop motion film people. So yeah, but a lot of articulation spots. I don't have the SH Monsters 94, so I can't really compare. Like, I can't really judge which is better. I mean, I would say SH Monster Arts is probably better with articulation because they just have more points. But for the price, this guy's really good. All right, so my final thoughts on the figure. Like I said, at first I didn't want to collect NECA figures, but I decided to pick this guy up. I found him at Toys R Us, and I was like, why not? And when I opened the package, I just immediately saw how good this figure was. I'm like, wow, I'm actually really happy I got this guy, especially for the price. I mean, the detail is really good. The whole sculpt is pretty accurate, And yeah, just overall, it's a really, really nice figure. Really, really nice. So I would highly recommend getting this figure. If you can't afford SH Monster Arts like I, then definitely pick this guy up and start collecting the SH Monster Arts. The ones that are going to be coming out are the Burning Godzilla and Godzilla 1954, and also 84 is up next. So I can't wait to get the 84 figure when that comes out next month. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I got. So hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay big, G fans.